alive. So we shall start in 5 minutes.
Assalamualaikum Pak Pence, Pak Firman.
Waalaikumsalam Pak Emir.
Assalamualaikum Dr. Rusdi Sab.
Assalamualaikum Pak Sultan. doing a triple feature tonight? Stay up until Saturday. Hmm. I didn't want to stop the video because you know it would show up. Hmm? This is the MOU.
What does that mean?
Memorandum of Understanding. An agreement. Parties. An agency in Indonesia, a bank in Indonesia, and us.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The Honorable Mr. Venture Raharjo, the Executive Director of Ken ACAS. Dr. Rusdi Siddiqui, CEO and co-founder of iPortal. Mr. Abdullah Firman Wibowo, the Vice President Director of Bank Syariah Indonesia. Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat, Director of Infrastructure of Ecosystem Syariah of KN AKS, and all the university leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to meet you all. First and foremost, let us praise to Allah, the God Almighty, who gives us blessings so we can attend this very special occasion. Secondly, peace and salutation may be upon the last messenger of Allah, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who brought us from the darkness to the lightness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the launching of Startup Pitch Competition Indonesia 2021, co-organized by KN AKS, iPortal, and Bank Syariah Indonesia. This event also put on iPortal YouTube live streaming, so you can access. With me, Hayati Zahri, will lead this event for the next 60 minutes, inshallah. Before we start the event, we'll have a photo session. Please put your camera on, and because we believe everyone will look the best in the morning. Okay, ready? On my count, 1, 2, 3. Okay, come again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we start our event today, let me invite Brother Sudarmawan Samidi to lead the dua. Please, brother.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, allow me to lead dua according to the teaching of Islam. For those with different belief, you are welcome to pray according to your respective religious belief. For a moment, let's purify our heart, bow our head back to Allah the Almighty so that we remain in His blessing. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافي مزيده يا ربنا لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلالك الكريم وعظيم سلطانك اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد صلاة تنجينا بها من جميع الأهوال والآفات وتقضي لنا بها من جميع الحاجات وتطهرنا بها من جميع السيئات وترفعنا بها عندك على الدرجات وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغاية من جميع الخيرات في الحياة وبعد الممات إنك على كل شيء قدير. Ya Allah the Almighty, we ask you because you are Allah the Almighty. We sincerely hope in you because you are the Lord of the universe, and we call you because you are the most compassionate, most merciful. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Give us the strength to always be grateful for your blessing that you have given to us, our parents, and our nation. Give us the strength to do the righteous deeds that you bless. And with your grace, Ya Allah, put us together with your pious servant. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Bless and fulfill the launching of Startup Pitch Competition 2021 with your kindness, pleasure, and blessing. Open our mind, flag our tongue, and give us bright idea and guide its application on strengthening the Islamic digital economy. Guide our endeavor in developing and accelerating the Sharia economy and finance to realize socio-economic justice that has an impact on an independent, civilized, and prosperous Indonesian nation. Baldatun tayyibatun wa rabbun ghafur. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Strengthen the synergy and collaboration of all Islamic economy stakeholders to support the acceleration of the development of the Islamic digital economy and strengthen the Islamic economy ecosystem and national economic resilience. Bless the signing of the MOA, Memorandum of Agreement, and cooperation between the National Committee for Islamic Economy and Finance, KNEKS, PT Bank Syariah Indonesia, and e-portal in accelerating and advancing the development of Islamic economy and finance in Indonesia. Make it easier for us to follow up the cooperation and to have real impact on the sustainability of the Islamic entrepreneurship in Indonesia. Shine our heart with the light of your guidance, Ya Allah, just as you have given light to the earth with your sun and moon. And with your grace, Ya Allah, open us your treasury of knowledge and wisdom so that we can receive your help, guidance, and blessing. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Have mercy on your servant who always call on you. Your servant has nothing to rely on except you, Ya Allah. Get rid of us from the COVID-19 pandemic and all disaster. Give perfect healing to our brothers and sisters who are affected by this plague. Make our bodies healthy and bring us out of conditions that are full of sorrow, pain, disaster, and calamity. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, bestow your mercy and peace upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and his friends, as well as his followers. Ya Allah, the Almighty, we do understand your greatness is not enough to only be understood by the knowledge and experience that we have, because your greatness can only be understood and filled with love and obedience. So make all of us here become your loving servant, full of pity and obedience to you who are the entirely merciful. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruquna min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma wa la taj'al fina wa la ma'ana shakiyya wa la marhuman bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Brother Sudarmawan, for the dua. Now we are still in the 29th of days of Ramadan, wishing for Allah blessing.
Amin.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving on our first agenda, we'll have an opening remark from the CEO and co-founder of iPortal. Allow me to welcome Dr. Rusdi Siddiqui.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Very warm welcome. A very warm welcome to you all. I wanted to take this opportunity to thank the Executive Director of KNEX, His Excellency Pak Venture Arjo, His Excellency Abdullah Firman Wibo, from BIS, Vice President Director, Mr. Sultan Hidayat, Infrastructure Head for KNEX. Why are we doing this, and why is this important? In the next 5 minutes or so, let me share with you why we're doing this, why this is important, and why it's being done in Indonesia. So let me share my presentation with you. Okay, assalamu alaikum. So business, trade, entrepreneurship, it's mandated by God in whatever we do in Islam. Here I show where Islam sits amongst the major faiths. It's the youngest one, and it is the last one of the major faiths, and the impact that it is having today and tomorrow. The reason we're doing this event is because of what's written in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 275 to 279, where God has permitted trade. Trade implies business. It implies entrepreneurship, and that is how Islam spread. And we basically focus on the Sharia as part of the Sharia economy. Man alone does not understand Sharia because it's God's words. So what we have is basically the fiqh, which is the interpretation of the Sharia. So what we'll talk about in the next few minutes is basically our understanding of Islam and entrepreneurship and why this is important in Indonesia. Unlike conventional startups, Islamic startups, we are principles-based. We basically believe that there's no separation between business and religion, that we are Khalifa, we have a duty of stewardship to develop prosperity and business. It's a form of ibadah. Any output that we do is a form of worship. And our motivation is not the end goal, it's how we achieve that end goal, the pathway, how we conduct ourselves. Wealth is basically God, with God, and we are just an amana, a trustee of this wealth for this generation and future generations, and we must utilize it carefully. And business and entrepreneurship is a subset of the Islamic capital markets. The guidelines are clear and they are mandated, and we are ruled by ethics, what we should avoid and what we should show. So this, in essence, is what an Islamic entrepreneur's DNA is about. And when we look at how Islam spread, the words disruption, innovation, invention are not from Silicon Valley. During the golden age of Islam, from the 7th century to the 13th century, we had basically our knowledge hubs, in today's term, technology hub. We had it in Spain. In Spain, we had advancements in medicine, in agriculture, in citrus, in palms. In Morocco is the oldest university founded by a woman, a place for learning and knowledge. In Cairo, we had the world's first hospital. It was a training hospital. It was available for free. And then we had our own Silicon Valley, the House of Wisdom. It was in Baghdad. And in Baghdad, there was this circular city, and the circular city housed the House of Wisdom. So if we were to look at words as disruption, innovation, invention. This is not from Silicon Valley, California. This came from Islam from the 7th century to the 13th century. And if we look at the circular city, this is what it looks like. You see a moat, you see 3 walls, you see quadrants. And if you look at Apple's headquarters, one can say it might have been modeled after the House of Wisdom in Baghdad. So there is continuous learnings from our civilization. We talked about disruptions. This is what was being done by Muslims during the Golden Age. We were disruptors. We focused on camera technology. And if we apply that, it focuses today on imaging, biometrics, facial recognition. If you look at the advances that we had in sciences, it's all self-explanatory. And then we had the flying machine way before the Wright brothers in the United States. The disruptions continue in the area of medicine. This is what we call health tech, if we were to put it in today's parlance. If we look at in the area of math, in today's term, it's about data analytics, artificial intelligence. If we continue disruptions, we looked at astronomy. We focused in on agri-tech and smart farming. If we look at what our predecessors, Muslims, did in those geographies. And if we look at trade, we can basically say before Alibaba, there was trade done by Muslims, it was offline. So anything that we talk today about, Muslims have done this many, many years ago. What we want to show is basically Indonesia, which is a G20 country. It is the most populous country. Can we bring back the renaissance of entrepreneurship in the Islamic economy? And can Indonesia lead it? We believe so. And so what we've showcased here, and this will be for our youth, is we've got within Indonesia startups that are in agri-tech. We have startups that are in fintech. We have startups that are in education, and we have women-owned founders. So what we're seeing in Indonesia, it is leading many of the Muslim world with respect to the startup ecosystem. And this is something that we want to basically embed in the universities within Indonesia, because there are many pain points. And I think the students within Indonesia can solve many of these challenges. The biggest challenge where we will challenge our students is in the area of stewardship. Climate change, sustainability important, and the young minds in Indonesia have to focus in on tomorrow's problems. We focused on Islamic banking and the halal industry, but we need to focus in the area of biodiversity because of the reference in the Quran, on waste as referenced in the Quran, on air as referenced in the Quran, in water as referenced in the Quran. So we need to expand the narrative from prohibition of interest to the permissibility of halal food to the encouragement of stewardship linked to startups. So at this point in time, that's the end of my presentation. I just wanted to basically say the renaissance of entrepreneurship in the Islamic economy, we believe will start in Indonesia, and we at iPortal are extremely humbled and proud to be part of the journey. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Rusdi, for the remarkable speech. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we'll hear a welcome speech from the Executive Director of KNIKS. Please welcome Bapak Venture Raharjo.
Thank you, Hayati. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Brother Dr. Rusdi Siddiqui, the CEO of iPortal, Brother Abdullah Firman Wibowo, my friend, Vice President Director of PT Bank Syariah Indonesia, and my colleague, my friend, Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat, and all the leaders from the university that participate in this event. And ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you all. Syukur Alhamdulillah, today we met in this important meeting on the launching of the Startup Pitch Competition 2021 in this moment. Salawat and salam to our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW, the greatest role model for all humankind. As already mentioned clearly by Brother Siddiqui, what is the reasons behind why we are doing this startup pitching competition 2021 today. Indeed, that is a very important occasion for us, and we are very honored that you deem us to be the place for the renaissance of the Islamic economics in Indonesia. And of course, we believe so that the potential for the revival of the Islamic economic glory will be in Indonesia. So by the help of our friends from the global Islamic community all over the world, we believe that we can do together all the necessary things that we have to do for those revival. The topic of today is the revival of the Islamic economy through digital technology. And we saw that the development in the digital technology has already been applied in all over the world, and also it also happened in Indonesia. There are a lot of e-commerce that provide halal product channels, such as Blibli Hasanah, Tokopedia, Salam, Shopee, Barokah, Buka Halal, and also another e-commerce specifically for halal, like Toko Halal, Dunia Halal, and so forth, and supported also by the digital payment platform, Sharia digital payment platform, that's already been launched more than 1 year ago. And not surprisingly, actually, the subscriber of the digital payment system is already increased in a very significant way. In 1 year, almost more than 2.5 million subscribers already been using the link address Sharia, and the transaction value is also increased so much. By December 2020, there are about 152 companies that's already registered by the regulators, of which 11 of the fintech companies are Sharia compliant. And we hope by having this pitching competition, the fintech company that has Sharia compliance will be increasing. This startup pitch competition that will be launched today by us, by iPortal, by Bank Syariah Indonesia, by NIKS, hopefully will be successful to encourage students of the universities in Indonesia to generate business ideas and their application on strengthening the Islamic digital economy. In addition, it's also it's an opportunity to create synergy between the Islamic economy stakeholders to support the acceleration of the development of the Islamic digital economy. The objective of this event is also to increase public literacy in the Islamic digital economy. So in closing, I do hope all of you, particularly students, will participate in this competition and get the opportunity to show talent and apply skills to the real world issues and problems. Thank you for your kind attention. Billahi taufiq walhidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Fencha. Now, the next speaker, the Honorable Vice President of Bank Syariah Indonesia, Mr. Abdullah Firman Wibowo.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Would like to welcome our distinguished guest, Bapak Fencha Raharjo, as Executive Director Komite Nasional Ekonomi dan Keuangan Syariah, Mr. Dr. Rusdi Siddiq as a CEO and co-founder iPortal Live. And here also Dr. Sultan Emir Hidayat, Director of KNI-KS. Also here, also Mr. Rusdi Musa, Dean of Bank Syariah Indonesia University, and all the participants who kindly attend this meeting. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin. First of all, thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who always give health, blessing, and salvation for all of us. Secondly, may salawat and salam for our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who always give blessing in the world. Thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. We are very pleased to be able to welcome participants of the startup pitch competition Indonesia 2021, our future generation and the Islamic economic ecosystem. Halal business is becoming a new brand all around the world. The value that is coming from the Sharia principle is being well accepted. Whereas a lot of countries have started a movement to campaign their value proposition to attain this economy prospect. Indonesia, as the biggest Muslim populated country in the world, has huge, of course, opportunities in halal industry. 87% from the total, population in Indonesia are Muslim. So with the advantage of economics of scale, Indonesia can utilize the halal industry opportunities to become the global Islamic economics powerhouse. The Indonesian government itself has shown the commitment to develop the Islamic economic ecosystem. Establishment of National Committee of Islamic Economic and Finance, KNI-KS, is one of the significant milestones that depicted Indonesia vision to be the global Islamic economics hub. Bank Syariah Indonesia is established by the government by consolidating three biggest Syariah banks in Indonesia: Bank BRI Syariah, Bank Syariah Mandiri, and BNI Syariah. It is now mandated to be one of the nation's growth engines, and most importantly, the catalyst of Islamic economics in Indonesia. With a solid structural position supported with strong workforce, wide range of network and distribution, as well as diverse products and services. It is a pleasure for Bank Syariah Indonesia to serve our loyal retail banking customers, especially SMEs and micro segment. It is parallel with the government initiative to support the economic development through SME business. We believe through this movement, we can broaden our network and services, reach new market, and bring positive message to all stakeholders. In today's gathering, I would like to focus on seeing not only what the business ideas can propose to its stakeholders, but also how the business ideas can support the development of economy. Bank Syariah Indonesia always supports any fresh ideas, especially to our future generation. We hope this event will be a valuable experience for the participants and can ignite the positive spirit of youngsters. Please do and enjoy your time in this event. Bank Syariah Indonesia ready to be your Syariah financial partner. Once again, I would like to thank KNI, KS, and I portal, as well as our team for your valuable time. I hope together we can synergize in achieving Indonesia's vision. Thank you very much. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Firman. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed to our main agenda, we'll witness a virtual MOA signing ceremony followed by virtual launching of Startup Pitch Competition 2021. First, we will see the virtual MOA signing ceremony between Ken Ekes, iPortal, and Bank Syariah Indonesia. We'll invite Dr. Rusdi, Dr. Sultan Emir, and Mr. Abdullah Firman Wibowo to sign the document. Okay, first, Dr. Rusdi, could you please show us the document signed from the iPortal side to the camera?
Can you see this?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rusdi. Next, Dr. Sultan Emir, could you please show the document signed from KNEKS side to the camera? Pak Emir?
We cannot see the
Oh,
document.
okay. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Bapak. Thank you. And Bapak Abdullah Firman Wibowo, could you please show the document signed from the Bank Syariah Indonesia side to the camera? Yeah. Okay, Bapak. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the cooperation of KNEKS portal and Bank Syariah Indonesia encompasses some fields such as these parties will facilitate regular, frequent, and meaningful exchange of information on relevant activities in the field of Islamic economy and finance. Now, let's see together the video startup pitch competition 2021. Pitch your best startup idea. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. By this video startup pitch competition is officially launched. Ladies and gentlemen, to have the detailed information about the startup pitch competition 2021, we have the head of business development manager of from iPortal. Please welcome Susanna Hailey.
Assalamualaikum everyone. Thank you, Sister Hayati. Welcome to the Startup Pitch Competition Indonesia 2021. I welcome all the opening speakers and invited students from the respective universities in Indonesia. So for this presentation, we'll just show you the rules and the guideline for the startup competition. Okay, we will go through what are the things that are needed from respective participant in order to participate in this initiative that is being brought by KNKS, BSI, and also iPortal. So basically, there's two simple steps to join the startup competition. The first is that you need to complete an online registration form that we have provided in the link. And subsequently, step 2 is to upload your presentation proposal in the same link once you have completed the presentation. Okay, so next slide. What is required for the applicants in order to participate is, number one, we allow individual and also group entry. So the submission, if it's in a group submission, we would want that you highlight the respective team members, their roles and responsibility towards that startup submission that you have. Applicants are open to all university students in Indonesia, and registration form is submitted via that link that is displayed on the screen. So just to remind everyone, the deadline submission is on the 27th of June for you to actually submit, upload the proposal for us to evaluate for the winners. Okay, when we talk about the pitch, with regards to the startup, what is it about? So the pitch usually has to indicate some information about the startup projects. Okay, and the presentation must claim both qualitative and also quantitative of what it support in driving that so-called startup business proposal. Now the presentation pitch will be submitted in a PDF copy presentation with the following element, like the name, your institution, where you are located, and the title of your pitch. And if you have a logo, that will be sufficient for you to actually show in your presentation. So all will be submitted in English, and we hope to have receive more submission by end of June 27th. Yeah. So in terms of the winner selection, applicants will be reviewed right after the deadline of the submission. We will review within 2 weeks. And after that 2 weeks, 10 finalists will be called, and we will then you will then present your so-called startup prototype in a 3-minute presentation and FAQ with the judges, right? Just a minor regulation that we need to be aware about. The participants are all is voluntary for them to actually involve in this competition, and the winners will, of course, would like to highlight that receive the opportunity of mentoring and coaching session with our respective community partners, and in a way, all the participants will be able to build their strategic networking and getting the extended media exposure on their startup pitch idea. So that is part of the things that we will be able to market your idea, and all the decision made is between iPortal, KNKS, and also BSI are all final. So what are the things that are included in the startup pitch? Here is a summary of some of the points that you can actually include. One, the first of the 8 pillars are the problem statement of what is the business you're trying to satisfy, what are the solution and the products, services that you're going to give out to our communities, and looking at the market, how innovative is the product or services that you're trying to present in terms of the market coverage that you are going to target. And also, uh, the applicant should look at the competitors. Who are the competitors in the market currently with regards, is there any a competitive edge that you have with regard to your startup business? And looking at your, particularly on your startup model, how are we able to reach the target and how big are you going to address on the total addressable market that you have? We also would like to see, in terms of roadmap, how does this startup business ventures into, who will be purchasing it, and how will you achieve that so-called target that you needed in terms of your roadmap, the journey of your startup business. And it would be good as well to include in terms of financing, how much the investment of funding of your business startup that requires, if you are being selected as the winner for the startup. Looking at the financing, I guess, talking about our main supporters of BSI, you can actually look at that. What are the things that may be required, you want to input or get some from the financing aspects of this startup business. And last but not least, looking at your support materials. What are the things that you needed in terms in supporting your startup business to fly and to make it a success startup business proposition? So these are the few pain points that you as an applicant can include into your proposal. We will be reviewing the proposal in line with these 8 pillars of pain points on how you address this in your proposal. Okay, so basically that is the whole summary on the rules and guidelines needed. Should you need further clarification, we have an email that we have put down at competition@iportal.live. You'll be able to actually write to us and let us know if you have any further queries. Just to remind everybody again, the deadline submission is on the 27th of June. So we look forward in getting all these creative ideas coming from the various universities in Indonesia. So to all the participants, we wish you all the best. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Sister Hailey. Now we are welcome to the participants. If you have any question, would you please to type on the Q&A chat box here? Yeah. We believe that most of our participants is the university's leaders, so maybe you have any question and you can pass this information to your students and encourage them to join the join the competition. Okay. We have one raise hand here. Okay, Ibu Putri. Ibu Putri, would you like to type your question? Okay, maybe okay. I can allow you to talk then. Okay, Ibu Putri. Ibu Putri, now you can.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ibu Putri.
Hello. Yes. Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you so much for the presentations from all the presenters from BSI, from regulatory, from KNAKS, and also from the Malaysians, the iPortal. Well, basically the question is, should it be the startup pitch up? Should it be for a profit oriented kind of business model? Or can it be for a sustainable oriented business model as well? Thank you. That's the questions.
Thank you, Bu Putri. Maybe Sister Hailey, would you please to answer the question?
Okay, thank you, Sister Putri. I think the competition is open to all sectors of startup business proposition. So you may submit, whether it's a non-profit or profit organization that you are going to propose, we duly accept it.
If I can add one thing to this, we want to encourage students to look at social impact startups, because one of the things that we are interested in is these young minds. We want them to address issues related to climate and sustainability, whether it's alternative to plastics, whether it's renewable energy, whether it is circular economy. These are the things that have application beyond Indonesia and have global application. So they're very bright minds in Indonesia, and we hope that they will take up their duty to find solutions to climate issues. So social impact startup problems is at least a priority that we will give due consideration. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sister Hailey and Dr. Rushdie. Now we have another question from Bapak Asep Maulana. Is the proposal startup must be running, or is it just a startup idea?
I'll take that. So we're focusing on students, and students can be either at ideation stage, meaning just an idea, or prototype, meaning the idea has turned into a sample product. We're not interested in things that are much more advanced, because at the student level, you probably will not have this. So ideation and prototype.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rushdie. So we invite to the all participants. Maybe you have a question. Okay, you can put in chat box on the Q&A box, or I will put your mic on. Okay. We wait for another 2 minutes.
Mbak Hayati, there is a
Yes.
question from Wahyu Wayang Andini.
Yeah,
Okay.
the question from Sister Wayu
I want to
is
ask about
asking about the maximum of pages.
pages,
So,
yeah.
For this question, there is no maximum of pages. The proposal will be given as a free flow, even with a template. You can use your creativity in submission of your proposal. There is no standard template for that. It's just that what I have explained earlier on the summary pain points, we hope that you address the 8 pillars that we have shared earlier with regards to that, and that addressing summary points will be at our website. So please look out at the website for the guide, so you can download that guide for your reference.
Thank you, Susana Hailey. Okay. Maybe while we wait for another question, maybe Susana Hailey or Dr. Rushdie, we believe that iPortal maybe have kind of this startup pitch competition in other country, or before we have in Indonesia. Could you please share the success story? Maybe you have one, just to encourage here.
We looked at other countries with respect to the startup ecosystem, and we've encouraged the universities and the students to get involved. The reaction has been mixed. Reason being, I think COVID-19, students being offline, and the challenge has been priorities. What we found with Indonesia compared to some of the other countries is the students, the universities seem much more hungry. And because Indonesia is a G20 country, the most populous Muslim state, we believe that, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, that the renaissance for entrepreneurship in the Islamic economy fits in to the vision of His Excellency, the President, to lead the Muslim world. So we have refocused our attention to where there can be easy victories that have amplification and can carry weight in other countries. So we are extremely excited about Indonesia, and we've refocused our efforts, Indonesia, the startup ecosystem.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rusdi. We have one question on YouTube from Republika Media from Indonesia. What is the target of the startup pitch competition, and how much the proposal startup will be chosen as the winner and get the guide from the mentor for the startup?
So there are several levels of benefits. The first level is obviously the monetary value of the prize money, but that just starts the journey for a startup. We will help them by introducing them to mentors and to follow-on investors where they can actually continue to grow. The challenge with startups is scaling up. So the good startups, they need funding to continue scaling. And this is where the network that we have, that our colleagues have, will allow them to continue their journey on growth and development.
Okay.
Okay, to add to Dr. Rusdi, for this particular competition, there will be 10 final proposal that will be chosen after the 2 weeks, but the winners will be the top 3 winners will be receiving the cash and the other rewards that I mentioned earlier. So as what Dr. Rusdi puts it, even the 10 finalists or whoever that did not make it, we will obviously also acknowledge them in other aspects of the startup so that they will be able to continue perhaps in a different line. Yeah.
Okay. One last question, I think, from YouTube. Is there any specific criteria for the startup we should find? Specific criteria of startup. Yeah.
No, I think the criteria is linked to the pain point. So if say 5 or 10 startups focus on agriculture or they focus on payments, that tells us what the pain point is in geographies within Indonesia or the universities located. So this will give us market intelligence on what the students see as pain points within where they live. And I think those things we will share with KS and BSI so we can pay more attention to those areas for further development.
Thank you, Dr. Rusdi. Yeah. So the participants, just to repeat what the Dr. Rusdi and Sister Hailey said, that the participant not only get the prize, but also get the guide from the mentors to have a successful startup. Okay, I think that's the last question we have. Okay. Okay, all the respected participants, ladies and gentlemen, now we have to the end of the event. On behalf of the committee, we thank all the distinguished speakers and also the participants for participating in the launching of Startup Pitch Competition in Asia 2021. Hopefully, this launching will give more encourage to all the Indonesia students to participate the competition. And we will have more Islamic your entrepreneurs here in Asia. Go to the iPortal website, and for the dean and the university leaders, we will appreciate if you could share this information and encourage your students to take the chance. Okay. One more, thank you for joining. Our apology for any inconvenience, and we will be very excited to see you again in next event. Mark the 27th of June on your calendar as the deadline of the proposal submission. And thank you for your kind attention. Wishing you blessed and blessing great Idul Fitri ahead. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam.
Salam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam.
Terima kasih Pak Bence, Pak Firman. Thank you,
Terima
Dr.
kasih,
Rusdi.
Pak Emir, Pak Firman, terima kasih.
Pak
Dr.
Musa,
Rusdi,
Pak
thank you very
Musa.
much.
Thank you, Bapak Ibu.
Rusdi Musa
Pak
Ishak,
Hadir.
terima kasih.
Thank you, everyone.
From
Terima
Bank Syariah
kasih.
Indonesia,
Sister
Ibu
Terima kasih.
Tri.
Salam
Terima kasih
Idul.
Hayati.
Terima kasih
Thank
Pak
you.
Bence,
Terima kasih
Pak
Bapak.
Hayati. Terima
For
kasih.
Pak
Terima
everyone.
kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam, makasih Mbak. Makasih Mas Amal.
Ya Bu.